Okay, hey YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about drugs, narcotics, and there's been lots of talk about this shit. Narcotics, I mean, hey, there's been lots of talks like legalizing it, keeping it illegal, war on drugs, and there's been lots of drug arrests and lots of people in prison for using drugs. I think they should semi-legalize drugs. I think they should make selling these dangerous narcotics illegal since they harm so many lives. But I think if you happen to like own if you happen to like own some plants that people make drugs off of, I think you should be able to grow them yourself and use them. And I don't think you should go to jail for using them. I think you should go to jail for selling them and semi legalizing it. What that means is sometimes I think it should be legal to use drugs. Sometimes I don't. I mean, sometimes I think it shouldn't be legal to use drugs. Like, if you got a job where you're supposed to remain drug free, I don't think you should be able to use drugs because, hey, you're being dishonest to the employer. Your employer says don't use drugs and you use drugs. You're being dishonest, and that's pretty rude. They need you to be safe on the job, so they don't want you to use drugs. They want you to be professional. And I guess if you're raising children, you shouldn't be using drugs, or else you might be neglectful. You know, just being high all day, smoking marijuana. You're like, woo! Oh my god, everything is just so nice. And your kids are all there wanting to eat, and you're not making a meal for them, and if you have a baby, you're not changing their diaper, and all like, it's like, shut up, I'm getting high. No, I think you shouldn't be allowed to use drugs for raising kids, and it gets in the way. And people have been thinking about legalizing drugs because it causes so much crime, and it leads to so many arrests, needless arrests in their eyes, in prison. And I kind of agree with them. Does allow crime to be started. I mean, it's kind of like prohibition. If you illegalize alcohol, and people want it all of a sudden. They want to drink. They want to fucking drink. I mean, when people couldn't have their alcohol anymore, they just got it from all these speakeasies, and they got it from all these gangs, from places that don't sell alcohol. Like, they got it from barbershops and beauty parlors. Yeah, that's right. Barbershops and beauty parlors could give out alcohol even though they don't sell fucking alcohol. Yeah. So, and that led to a rise of crime because you could sell alcohol legally, therefore it's a crime. But enough about that. Yeah, a lot of people are what I think are needlessly in jail for using drugs because they haven't really done anything bad to society, done bad things to themselves, and just it's not really that harmful to people for them using drugs, except for a few other people, and I'll get to that later. And yet they're in jail for it. They're in jail. They're in fucking jail. They're like, what did I do? I mean, I just hooked up on some cocaine. I just snorted it, and now I'm here. What did I do wrong? I didn't kill anyone. I didn't rape anyone. Didn't sexually abuse anyone. I'm in jail. What? What the fuck? And then some people are forced into rehab for using drugs. I'm not so sure about that. But I don't think you should go to prison for using drugs. I mean, you're not harming society. You're mostly harming yourself. And the reason why we have laws and prison is to protect society. Keep those dangerous people out of society so they can't harm any more people. Them harming just one person proves they're dangerous and could harm others. And they need to be punished for that. I mean, if they didn't have any punishment for crime, people just keep doing it. You need something to put people in line. Put people in line. And you need laws to protect society, protect individuals' rights, and you need prisons to put those criminals. And taking drugs for yourself doesn't really harm society. I mean, it's when people sell drugs for people to take that ruin lives that harm society. I kind of think, well, I believe you shouldn't take drugs. I say, hey, you're ruining your body by putting that shit in your body. I mean, you're ruining your body, you're ruining your mind. I'm like, just don't do it, you know? I mean, also, for those few other people you're harming, I'd say you're harming your family and your friends. I mean, if you have a good family and you have good friends that really care about you, that you're using drugs, and I think they'd even try to stop you if you did, like, try to get you some help or something. Some families and friends don't really give a shit. They know if they're friends with someone that's using drugs, and I don't quite like that. Yeah, drugs is bad. I mean, I sure wouldn't like it if I had a family member or a friend that was using drugs. I mean, I wouldn't want to see someone that I knew, someone that I spent time with, getting high. I mean, I wouldn't be into that. And a lot of people are criticizing these anti-drug commercials for being cheesy, or stupid, or corny, or inaccurate. I kind of believe that's bullshit. I think most of them are pretty accurate. Drugs do ruin your life. Narcotics, that is, not just regular pharmaceutical medicine, not just medicine. Well, medicine can ruin your life if you get to it, but narcotics is far worse. There isn't really any practical use for narcotics, except for marijuana. Marijuana does have some practical uses, and I think they should legalize marijuana for medicine, but other than that, like recreation, don't legalize selling it. Maybe just legalize people using it for that, but don't legalize selling it, because that's kind of wrong. People can make a business off of selling a product that, when used properly, when used as the way it's meant to be used, harms you, you know? I mean, I hate hearing people, oh man, I just want to strangle these people. I mean, I hear it so much, but these people, they say, it's their body, it's their body. That's all I fucking hear nowadays. What happened to feeling sympathy and pity when someone did something bad to themselves? What happened to that? America? Or anywhere else in the world? Or it doesn't happen anymore? What happened to that, you know? What happened to feeling bad when something bad happened to someone? When they got in a bad situation? I mean, some of these drug addicts might actually want to be off drugs. Did you ever think of that, people? Did you ever think of that? Some of them might actually want to be off the drugs, but they can't. All because they made the irresponsible decision to use a drug, and there's some jackass to sell it to them. All because of that, they're suffering. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all. I guess the solution with legalizing drugs, another subject, is you reduce the number of, I guess you reduce the crime for it. I mean, bad guys wouldn't be able to get a kick. They had some reward for themselves if the drugs were just legalized. They couldn't make so much money off of them. And prisons would be smaller, well, less inmates, because a lot of inmates are in jail for using drugs. And I think you should only put people that really do some really bad stuff in jail, not just for harming themselves like that. You put people in jail for killing people, sexually abusing people, rape, kidnapping, larceny. Sorry, I'm a bit close to camera. It's like the first time I'm doing this. I don't know how to film from a professional distance. You got your larceny. You got Ponzi scheming. Or you got scamming. You got identity theft. Those things you should go to jail for. You shouldn't go to jail for just snorting cocaine or heroin or crack or smoking marijuana or hash or crystal meth, which is like considered the worst of all king of narcotics because of how bad it is. You shouldn't go to jail for that. So anyways, if you're a person that uses, for the people that use drugs, I feel sorry for you. I feel sympathy. But there's not really anything I can do about you taking your drugs and narcotics, because first of all, I don't know where you are or who you are. Second of all, you might get violent for me if I try to physically take the drugs away from you, you know? And well, it's kind of your life. You're gonna have to make the choice to get help from a friend or anybody if you need it. So I'm pretty much gonna have to let you suffer if you use drugs. Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but hey, can't always get involved. So what else? I don't see why people have to put this shit into their body to get high, escape reality. It's just not right. I mean, there's so many things you can do to be happy in life without using drugs. Now, I'm not trying to sound like some PSA, because I'm pretty sure you came here rather to hear someone speak their mind than just go to PSA. But anyways, drugs don't solve your problems. Acting solves your problems. Actually going after what the problem actually is instead of doing something irrelevant like smoking a joint, that solves problems. So do that instead of just taking shit. You know, so this is I Speak My Mind, and I am out.